The Galactic Council had seen many species rise to prominence, but none quite like humanity. When the humans arrived with their patchwork ships and reckless enthusiasm, the elder races had dismissed them as primitives. Dangerous primitives, perhaps, but primitives nonetheless. Jessica Reeves stood on the observation deck of the Terran Resilience, watching the sleek Corthian dreadnought drift past. Its hull gleamed with perfection, every panel aligned with mathematical precision. She snorted. "Pretty, but fragile," she muttered. "Talking to yourself again, Jess?" James Crawford approached, carrying 2 steaming cups of coffee, a human vice that had become surprisingly popular among certain alien species. "Just admiring our neighbors," Jessica replied, accepting the cup. "The Corthians really don't understand why we keep our repair docks off limits, do they?" James laughed. "None of them do. The Council sent another formal inquiry yesterday. They're concerned about our non-standard maintenance procedures. The human repair docks orbiting Earth had become something of a legend and a source of constant diplomatic tension. Every other species in the galaxy maintained centralized, heavily regulated repair facilities. Standardization was the foundation of galactic civilization, except humanity had refused to comply. 3 months earlier, the Corthian Empire had learned why. Commander Velthara of the Corthian Defense Fleet had never seen anything like it. Her flagship, the Eternal Dominance, had suffered catastrophic damage during a skirmish with pirates near the Terminus sector. Systems were failing. Hull breaches threatened to tear the ship apart. The nearest Corthian facility was 6 days away at maximum warp, but there was a human repair dock just 4 hours distant. She had hesitated. The humans were unpredictable, their methods unorthodox, but her crew was dying, and pride was a luxury she couldn't afford. When the Eternal Dominance limped into Dock 7, Velthara had expected chaos. What she found was something far stranger: organized chaos. Jessica had been the dock supervisor that day. She remembered the Corthian commander's expression when James and his team swarmed the damaged vessel with equipment that looked like it had been salvaged from a dozen different disasters. "You're using welding torches?" Velthara had demanded, her translator struggling with the incredulous tone. "Our hull requires nanomolecular bonding systems." "Don't have those," James had replied cheerfully, already cutting away a twisted section of hull. "But we've got something better: improvisation." The Corthians watched in horror as humans tore into their pristine vessel with tools that seemed primitive, even barbaric. They used duct tape, actual adhesive tape, to seal minor breaches. They rerouted power through circuits never designed to carry such loads. They cannibalized parts from 3 other ships in the dock, none of them Corthian, and somehow made them work. "This is madness," Velthara had whispered. "You're going to destroy my ship." Jessica had looked up from a console where she was rewriting the Dominance's navigational software on the fly. "Commander, your ship was already destroyed. We're bringing her back from the dead. That's what humans do." 72 hours later, the Eternal Dominance departed Dock 7. She wasn't pretty. Mismatched hull plates gave her a quilted appearance. Her starboard engines glowed a slightly different color than her port ones. Internal corridors had been rerouted through what used to be storage bays, but she flew. Better than she had before. When Velthara returned to Corthian space, the naval engineers had demanded a full inspection. What they found had shocked them to their core. The human repairs weren't just functional, they were superior. Stress points that had plagued the original design had been inadvertently corrected. Efficiency had increased by 14%. The ship was now more resilient, more adaptable. The secret, they realized with growing horror, was that humans didn't repair ships to restore them to factory specifications. They rebuilt them to survive. "The Council still doesn't get it," Jessica said, sipping her coffee. "They think repair means returning something to its original state." James nodded. "But we learned different. Every human ship out here is a survivor of something. Battle damage, system failures, catastrophic malfunctions. We don't have the luxury of perfect parts and unlimited resources. We make do. And that's why they can't touch our docks," Jessica continued. "Because if they standardize our methods, if they regulate our chaos, they'll kill what makes it work." The truth was both simple and profound. Human repair wasn't a science, it was an art born from necessity. Every technician brought their own experience, their own creative solutions. A fix that worked on one ship might be adapted for another, Failure bred innovation, desperation bred genius. The galaxy had built its civilization on standardization, on the belief that there was one correct way to do things. Humanity had built its survival on the opposite principle, that there were infinite ways to solve a problem, and the best solution was the one that worked right now, with the materials at hand. When the Zarkonian plague swept through the outer sectors, crippling ships with a computer virus that corrupted standard navigation systems, every major species was grounded for weeks while they developed patches and updates through official channels. Human ships kept flying. Their systems were so jury-rigged, so uniquely cobbled together, that the virus couldn't find a foothold. What should have been a weakness, the lack of standardization, became their greatest strength. The Galactic Council finally understood. They had sent a formal declaration. Under no circumstances will human repair docks be subjected to regulatory oversight or standardization protocols. Human maintenance procedures are hereby recognized as a unique cultural practice essential to their operational effectiveness. Jessica smiled at the memory. They called it a cultural practice, like we repair ships this way because of tradition. Well, James said, grinning, they're not entirely wrong. We do have a tradition, the tradition of refusing to die quietly. Below them, in Dock 7, a team was already swarming over a newly arrived Diluvian cruiser. Sparks flew. Plasma torches glowed. Somewhere, someone was undoubtedly applying duct tape to a problem that theoretically required a 3-week stay in a specialized facility. The galaxy had learned its lesson. Humanity didn't repair ships the way they were supposed to be repaired. They repaired them the way humans did everything, with stubborn determination, creative chaos, and an absolute refusal to accept that something was broken beyond fixing. And the ships that emerged from those docks? They didn't just fly, they survived.